Well, good morning. And this morning I'm doing this video for my Lightbulb community. So that's my podcast community who get the weekly coaching tip from me. But this is just one that I wanted to share in general with any of the followers that I have. And it's an exercise that I did with my own coach this week. And it's around some of the reasons why we might not achieve our goals. Now, I'm starting to see a lot of things online around whether or not to set goals, when to set goals. Is the new year the best time? Is the end of last year the best time? That's something you can decide for yourself. But the people that I work with, in terms of the people that I coach, we work towards some form of a goal. So if we don't know what it is we want, then any road's going to get us there. We don't know where we're going to be. We don't know where we're going to go. So I'm basing it on, if you're going to continue to listen to this for the next 7 minutes, that you are someone who believes in the power of setting goals. So I just want to look at 8 reasons why people don't achieve their goals, or certainly don't achieve them in any kind of time that is acceptable for them, or maybe for the people that they're trying to achieve the goals with. So the first thing always comes back to, what is the vision? What is it that you want? Not what do you think you can get, or not what do you think, you know, your business should want for you, or society should want within that business, or your employees or your family or whatever it is. What do you actually want? That is the single most important thing for you to decide. What do you want in relation to a goal that you want to achieve? That's number one. Second one is, people don't set clear goals. So I learned this many, many years ago when I did my first set of training with Jack Canfield. And Jack gave us the tool, I guess, in terms of goal setting. What by when, or how much by when. So there has to be some sort of an element of what it is that I want, and what's the broad time frame that I'm going to receive it in. I'm not saying that you have to give an actual date and time, but it helps if you do have kind of a 1 year, a 3 year, a 5 year plan, particularly for those of you who are in business, or even for those of you who have certain aspirations in your career. So how much, or what by when? So that's the second reason why people mightn't achieve goals. So we have, you don't have a clear vision, or you do not set goals. Number three then is, people set goals and then never think about them again. You don't come back and revisit if you're on track or off track. You don't have an accountability system in place. And I'm not just that if you have a coach, you will have an accountability system in place. That's why we have coaches, because we get there quicker, because we have somebody external holding us accountable and calling us out on some of the excuses and the crap that we tell ourselves for why we can't achieve what it is that we want. But if you don't have a coach in place, or you don't have some sort of an accountability system, that's something that you need to build in, because the measurement of it is going to say, okay, am I on track or am I off track? So this light bulb is going out from Monday the 4th of March, and it'll be going online for the rest of my community for the 4th of March as well. So we're coming into the last sprint, if you like, in Q1 of 2024. So if you look at a quarter as 3 sprints, we're coming into our last sprint now, because we're coming into the last month of Q1. So if you haven't set a goal, you need to think about what it is you want to achieve in 2024 now. And if you've set a goal, you need to break that down. You can break it down into, particularly for business, break it down into quarters, and then engineer that backwards into months and weeks. So if I want to achieve €100,000 in the next quarter, that's 33,000 per month, or 33.33 thousand per month. And then you break that down into weeks. So how many sales does that look like? How many people do I have to convert onto maybe a program? How many products do I have to sell? Whatever it is for your industry. But that's how you have to measure your numbers. And that's one of the big things that I cover in the Elevate program, because so many people who come into some of my training and coaching programs do not know their numbers. So you have to know the numbers. Next one then is, people do nothing to achieve their goal, or they don't take the right kind of actions to achieve their goal. So if you're taking no action at all, then it's a given that you're not going to achieve. And even if you're, doing all of the things around visualization and meditation, and you are utilizing the higher faculties of your subconscious mind, you still have to get off your backside, and you still have to take some action. Because if you don't, chances of you achieving what it is you want are not very high. So all of those things are great, and utilizing, as I say, all of those higher mental faculties are absolutely critical. but you still have to do the things that the person who would achieve that goal would do. You have to start somewhere with taking an action. So clear vision, people don't set goals, they set goals and never think about them again. They do nothing or they don't take the right actions to achieve their goal. That's four. Our next four then are people are not aligned with their goals. So you need to know in terms of what are my values? What do I feel my purpose is? Who is it I want to serve? How do I want to serve? And if your goal is not in alignment with your values, the chances of you being able to achieve it are extremely slim. So you can push through, we can do, the fake it till you make it and all of those things. But if there's not some sort of alignment around what your value system is, who do I believe I am? What do I believe my contribution is to the greater world and people and the betterment of people? That makes it so much easier to achieve your goal, because on the days where you have challenge and on the weeks where you have crap, and we all have it in business, it's the alignment to your values and the alignment to your goal that keeps you going and persisting through that challenge or through those kind of hard times, and we all have them. So look at, is my goal, is what I want to achieve aligned with my purpose? Is it aligned with my values? Is it aligned with what I want to create as my legacy, if that's what you want to do? Next one then is people are not inspired enough by their goals. So I learned a lot around goal setting also from Bob Proctor and also from Brian Tracy. So Jack, Bob, and Brian Tracy were the three people that I would have learned the most from around goals. And every single one of those, as well as some of the other great motivational coaches, success coaches, mind coaches across the world, will all be in unanimous agreement on this. A goal has to stretch you. So it has to bring something out of you that you haven't achieved before. Of course, you can set a goal with something that you absolutely know how to do. But again, it's the stretch and the growth that motivates us to achieve towards our goal, particularly in times of challenge. If I know I'm learning, if I know I'm growing, if I know I've come up with something that I hadn't done before, and I've pushed through that and persisted and it's been successful, then that's going to be a motivational driver for me to keep moving forward. So if your goal isn't big enough, if it doesn't stretch you, it's not big enough. There's going to be no growth in it. And that is going to, reduce the amount of inspiration you're going to have towards achieving it, which is going to make it less likely, or if it's less inspiring to achieve, there's not going to be fulfillment, even if you do get, to where you want to go. So very often I would have clients who have a money goal and they set the same money goal maybe year on year, or they maybe only push it out by 20, 30,000 euro or 20, $30,000. There's not the right amount of growth in that because they know how to do that. They could just simply tweak one little thing and the chances are they'd be successful. But where they're pushing through something bigger, there's inspiration because there's growth. So we tend to have from that growth inspire ourselves. And then the last one is people don't have the level of belief that they can achieve the goals that they want to achieve. So everything is controlled by the level of self-belief that we have, everything in our life. Any result that you look at in your life is completely aligned with what the beliefs around you and your environment and what your abilities are. They're related to that. So if your results are not where you want them to be, look at the beliefs that you have about yourself, your capabilities, your abilities, your talents, your environment, your resources. Any of the beliefs that you have that are going to contribute to success or not are something that you have to look at in relation to goal achievement. Just to do a very recap on our 8 things, 8 reasons why people may not achieve their goals or do not achieve their goals. They don't have a clear vision, number one. They don't set goals, number two. They set them and they never think about them again, or they never measure them or review them. Number three, they don't take the right action towards their goal, or they don't take any action at all, is number four. Number five, then people are not aligned with their goals. Number six, the goals are not inspiring enough. Number seven, people very often don't believe that they can achieve what it is they want. So if there's not a level of self-belief, there's not going to be the achievement. And number eight, people are not setting a goal that's their own goal. So they're not setting goals that are for them, for their purpose, for their beliefs, for their growth, for their legacy. So they're not setting their own goals, they're setting the goals that they believe they should be setting, or they believe that, their employees want them to set, or their family wants them to set. So if you're setting a goal, make sure it's something that's for you. Make sure it's your goal. You can own it. You can be inspired by it, and you can grow by it. So I hope that's helpful, and I will catch all of the Lightbulb community next Monday at 8. You can sign up in the link below. If you haven't already signed up to the Lightbulb podcast, you get your weekly coaching tip, and I will see you next Monday.